Hello everybody, my name is Jordan. This is the second video I'm making in a learning rhythm series. In today's episode, we'll do a quick review and then we're going to learn more music theory and we're actually going to be able to count almost any rhythm today. So the biggest things to remember from last week's episode are tempo. So tempo can be fast, it can be slow, but it's unchanging. It stays the same. So if I'm snapping my fingers, it's going to stay the same. It can be a fast one, bop, 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 or slow. But just like a clock ticking or your heart beating or when you're taking a jog or going for a walk, you want to stay as consistent as possible. The other thing was simple meter, and this just refers to any time in music where we're counting in sets of 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of like that, things that are divisible by 2. And then the other one is compound meter, which are things that fit into 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Stuff like that. So we're not going to go too much into that so far. Just remember, simple is 2. Compound is 3s. If you watched the last video, we talked about counting rhythms. The 2 notes that we counted were blues and jellos. And remember, each one of these happens on a beat in our tempo. So we'll just do a quick review. And if I give us a tempo, this is what we did last week. 1, 2, ready, go. Blue, jello, blue, jello, jello, blue, jello, blue. So let's actually give names to these rhythms that we've learned. The blue is called a quarter note in music. And most commonly, it just takes up 1 beat. So we call the quarter note 1 beat. And we subdivide the quarter note into the jellos, which are called eighth notes. And it's awesome because if you've already learned math, you know how to subdivide. So a quarter note, if we cut it in half, is an eighth note. So I use something called the TaKaDiMi system. And so for every quarter note, we're just going to say ta as our syllable. And this is the best way to learn. I'm telling you, I did not know how to count rhythms for maybe 10 years as a musician. I would just hear the rhythms and copy it because I was so bad at reading them on the page until I learned TaKaDiMi, and it all made so much sense to me. So we really need a syllable that we can cling on to in our minds, and TaKaDiMi is just proven to be the best one for me. So every quarter note, we just say ta, 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 ta. And then when we subdivide, we just say ta-di for the eighth note. Ta-di, 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 ta-di. So let's just try one example. I'll give us a count in. We'll do one measure. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta-di, ta, ta-di. Excellent job. Okay, now we're going to learn every single rhythm. So the quarter note, 1 beat. We just say ta. The second one, and now we're moving up. We're expanding it, making it longer. So whereas the quarter note is just a black note with a stem attached to it or a beam, the half note is a hollow note with a stem attached to it still. And the half note gets 2 beats. So when we say this, we just extend the ta for 2 counts. So it would be 1, 2, or ta-ah. So let's try that in. I'm going to give us a 4 beat count and to establish our tempo, and then we'll try and say 2 half notes. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta. All right, the next one that we're going to learn about is a whole note. This has no stem attached to it. That beam, we're taking it away, and it's just a hole in the paper. So that's why it's easy to remember, a whole note. And if we think about a quarter, there's 4 quarters in a whole. There's 4 quarter notes in a whole note. So when we play this, we just give it 4 beats. So the full bar pretty much. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta. And you just hold it out for 4 beats. So let's review. We got a quarter note, ta. Half note, ta. Whole note, ta. You just give it 4 beats. Now we're going to get into the subdividing side. So if we take a quarter note, we cut it in half. We just say ta-di. Ta-di. And notice it's in the same amount of time per our tempo as a quarter note. Ta, ta, ta-di, ta-di. Now the next one is called the 16th note, which we're just further subdividing it. And these are the only ones we're going to learn today. So you have quarter, half, whole, and then subdividing, we have 8th and 16th. So 5 rhythms that we know in total, which is pretty much all of them actually. And so let's talk about the 16th note. We just say the full TaKaDiMi. And it's 4 syllables that are easy to say because they all start with a harsh consonant. And that's the whole point of the system. TaKaDiMi. And so that's all you have to say. And I know it sounds silly at first, but it's so helpful. And you'll see later when we're doing exercises. So just give it a try. I'm going to give us a 4 beat count in, and we're just going to do TaKaDiMi on the beat. This is actually kind of difficult, so if you want to hear me do it one time and then try and join in, you can just rewind the video or whatever. 1, 2, ready, go. TaKaDiMi, 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 ta. So as long as we have a steady sense of tempo, everything we're doing right now is in a simple meter, and you just kind of memorize these formulas. It's actually really easy to count music. We're going to do some exercises. We're going to do it one time without the answers, and then the second time we'll review with the answers. All right, I'm going to be referencing my notes for this one. So this is exercise 1, and I'm going to give us a 4 beat counter, and then we'll try it together. So 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 ta-di, ta. Let's do it again with the answers now. 1, 2, ready, go. ta, 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 ta-dee, ta. All right, let's try exercise 2 now. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta-dee, ta, 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 ta-dee, ta-dee. So see, it's a little bit challenging, but whenever we see that half note, it just gets 2 clicks of our tempo. The 8th note we subdivide. Ta-dee, ta. All right, let's try it again with the answers. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta-dee, ta, 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 ta-dee, ta-dee. Let's I'll show you an example of tempo. So tempo can be fast. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta-dee, ta, 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 ta-dee, ta-dee. Or it can be slow. 1, 2, go. Ta-dee, ta, 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 ta-dee, ta-dee. All right, so this is going to be exercise 3. Notice we're starting with a 16th note. So just refresh. In one beat, we say TaKaDiMi, TaKaDiMi. So together we have TaKaDiMi, ta, TaKaDiMi, ta-dee, ta. And that's a whole note there. Whole note. And remember, that gets 4 beats, so we're counting for quite a while whenever we get to that one. All right, one more time with the answers this time. 1, 2, ready, go. TaKaDiMi, ta, TaKaDiMi, ta-dee, ta. Exercise 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta-dee, TaKaDiMi, ta-dee, ta. TaKaDiMi, ta. So I didn't really hold out that half note like I would have liked to. Ta, but you get the point. All right, let's try it again with the answers. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta-dee, TaKaDiMi, ta-dee, ta. TaKaDiMi, ta. Great job. Take as much time as you need to review these things. And another thing that's awesome is just look up music that you like and see if you can find examples of these notes and then practice counting them. All right, one final example. We have 4 measures here, and this is an actual piece of music. So this is how you'll encounter this in the real world. So for this, notice we're in 3/4. So I'm going to give a 3-beat count in, and then we'll start. So it'll sound like this: 1, 2, 3, ta. Just like that. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, ta, ta. And now I'm going to play it on the piano. We'll be able to hear the rhythms and hear how it's supposed to go. So 1, 2, 3, ta, ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, 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 ta-dee, ta-dee, ta, ta, ta. And see how easy it is? And a lot of music that you'll see, especially in classical music, is right on the beat. It uses quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes, whole notes, and half notes. So the 5 that we've learned. The next thing that we'll learn next week is going to be syncopation, so learning offbeat hits. And we're also going to talk some about rests. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take your time, go back to the visuals, really memorize each of these 5 units, learn how they feel in music, and even listen along to music that you've heard and see if you can find where it fits together. Listen for those TaKaDiMis, and you'll find that the more that you practice this stuff, when I'm playing music, I don't often think of these syllables unless I'm in a pinch and really trying to figure something out. In my head, it's more like da dun dun da 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 dum, and I can hear those things, but it's so great to have a foundation when you're learning to understand these things. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and best of luck with your practice.